are you crying? Are you trying to make the same noise as your toy? You're so adorable. Alright, hi guys, so today is Tuesday, June 12th. I didn't get as much reading done last night as I wanted to. I was planning on finishing Six of Crows, and I only got to page 300, so I have about 150 pages left. So hopefully I'll finish this today, but so far I am loving this. I love the heist, I love all the characters, there's so much going on, it's so action-packed. I mean, the book itself is beautiful. The Grisha world is just so like complex, and like I just love it. It's so good. I know a lot of people say that you don't have to read the Shadow and Bone trilogy before reading Six of Crows, and I can see that you don't necessarily need to read it, but I think it's really helpful to have all of the background on how the world works, because otherwise I would not know like a lot of this, and I guess I would be like Googling it or something to figure out specific people or like specific things that are mentioned. So I was really glad that I decided to read the Shadow and Bone trilogy first, just because I think that it really helped me understand the world and understand a little bit more of like the political intricacies between the different nations and just how all the characters are interacting and stuff like that. I also got to page 152 on City of Bones last night, and I was reading this as I was falling asleep, and I needed to get like 2 more pages done to finish the part and get to like the next chapter, and I literally just had to put it down in the middle of the chapter and I just fell asleep immediately. I signed up for email notifications for my City of Ashes book because I ordered it so long ago and it's still not here, and I don't know, maybe this spurred USPS to do something, but it's finally in Orlando, which is like an hour from me, so hopefully I'll be getting it like today or tomorrow. Maybe I could do a little book mail unboxing. I wish I was getting more book mail these days, but since I just went to BookCon, I have no money to spend on books. Like I literally went to Barnes & Noble last night to just like look at the books and be like, oh, I'll read this in the future, but I have no money to buy this right now. Even though I did almost buy the Shadowhunters Codex because I like want to know everything, but I'm like, oh, I need to refrain. I need to wait just a little bit longer until I like get more into this world, but the temptation was strong. The force is strong with this one. Okay, I'm a giant nerd. It's fine. Anyways, hope my book gets here soon. Okay, is this going? Hello? I can't figure out this camera. Okay, hello everyone. You may notice that the video quality is a lot nicer now because I got a new camera because I didn't want it to be low quality, so I splurged. I think I'm gonna film the booktube newbie tag today. I don't know, I'm just gonna have so much fun now that I have a new camera. It's so exciting. Okay. Also, if you notice, my hair has pink in it. I really feel like I'm giving off some Katie Grant Illuminae Files vibes, and since my name is Katie, I feel like that's fitting. I got some book mail from Book Depository, so this should finally be my City of Ashes copy that finally came after being in the mail. I know it took like 20 days to get here. I got City of Ashes and this cover. Ooh, I'm so excited to reread this. Ooh, look at that focus. And they're gonna look so good on my shelf. Okay, we're just gonna test the lighting in front of my bookshelf. If I have the camera here, and or like here, and I film a video like this, oh, I think it will look so good. Okay, so I'm gonna refilm my wrap up from last week's reading vlog because, well, my dumbass deleted all of my footage off my computer, so I gotta refilm it. The first book that I read last week was The Cruel Prince by Holly Black, and this book. It was so good. I was really unsure how I was going to like it because it's gotten a lot of mixed reviews, with some people saying that they thought it was too slow or they didn't like the main character. I thought it was great. The first half was a lot of world building, and I can see how people would say that that's slow, but I really enjoy kind of getting to know the characters and the world, especially in the beginning of the first novel. Okay, so The Cruel Prince, real quick, is about a girl who when she's 7, her parents are murdered by a fairy, and her sisters are kidnapped and brought to the fairy realm. And now, fast forward 10 years, she wants to try and earn her place as a knight in the fairy court, and even though she's immortal, she wants to have a place among the fairy. I think part of the reason why I liked this book so much was because our main character, Jude, I would say is different than a lot of main characters in a lot of the YA novels that I read. She is really on a quest for power, and she's hungry for it, and you see throughout the first book her struggle for it, and I think it was just so interesting to read about, and it made her a really intriguing main character. The whole thing was just like dark and delicious, and I really need to get my hands on The Wicked King as soon as possible, but it's not coming out for like another 7 or 8 months, so that makes me sad. But this book was definitely one of my favorites that I've read in a really long time. The next book I read that week was City of Ghosts by Victoria Schwab, and I'm so happy I have this. I got the ARC at BookCon. We almost didn't think we were gonna get it because the line was ridiculous, and we were like, oh, it's not worth it, they're gonna run out. And then we just happened to walk by and the line was moving so quickly and they had so many left, so me and my friends hopped online and we got this book. It's a middle grade adventure about a girl who can see ghosts, and her parents are kind of running a TV show similar to BuzzFeed Unsolved, I would say, where they go to Edinburgh and she has some ghostly adventures. I think this is Victoria Schwab's first middle grade book, and it's the first middle grade book that I've read since I was in middle grade. So I was really excited to read this, and it was just so cute and spooky and really fun, and I loved it. It was so cute. I will basically read anything that Victoria Schwab writes. If you don't know, A Darker Shade of Magic is one of my favorite series of all time, and I will just read anything that she writes. Okay, so the next thing that I read was Three Dark Crowns by Kendare Blake. This is about a world where there are 3 triplet queens born, and they basically have to kill each other for the throne, and each of them has a different set of powers. This world was really intriguing. I really liked the matriarchal aspect of it because the women were in power and they were badass. One of the really interesting things about this book is that it's written in third person present, which is not something I've come across often at all in books. Overall, I thought it was really dark and twisty, and I'm really intrigued to see what Kendare Blake will do with the future of this world and their fight for power. I just think it was a really cool story of these girls. I really liked the interplay of the familial bonds and the thirst for power in this book, because each sister kind of has a different mindset when it comes to winning the crown, and the political intrigue was just off the charts, and so I'm really interested to pick up the sequel, hopefully once I get through my giant pile of books that I need to read, because my TBR pile keeps growing. So this is, I guess, now a current update, but I started City of Bones last week for my reread with my best friend Melissa. We both read these books in high school together, and so it's been really fun as adults to read them again. So I'm on page 182, and I'm just diving back into this world, and we literally keep texting all the time about how we're re-obsessed, and, you know, the Shadowhunter obsession is restarting with both of us, and it's so fun to be able to read it with my best friend that we've been best friends since we were like 7 years old. And we literally just text funny Shadowhunters things to each other like all day long. It's great. Melissa texted me this really funny Instagram. I'll put it up on the screen, and she goes, "Us by the end of the week." And I was dying because it's so accurate, because we're both re-obsessed. We're only like 100 or so pages into our buddy read, and we're gonna read the whole series together leading up to Queen of Air and Darkness, and I can't wait because I've only read the first 4 Mortal Instruments books and the first 2 Infernal Devices books before I started college, and then I kind of stopped reading for a little bit. So I'm excited to finally read the whole series in full. But the next book I finished yesterday, and that is 6 of Crows by Leigh Bardugo, which takes place in the Grisha universe. I read the Shadow and Bone trilogy. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars of a series as a whole, but one of the things I enjoyed most about the Shadow and Bone trilogy was the world and the world building. I think the Grisha verse is just so intriguing. I love that it's based off of Russian culture, because that's not something you see very often in fantasy. I absolutely loved it. 5 out of 5 stars. Just the way the characters interact, their relationships, the action, everything was just so intricate. The writing was just lovely. Leigh Bardugo has a way with words. And 5 out of 5 stars. Just, it was so good. So currently I picked up Crooked Kingdom, which is the next book. And this book, I think, I don't know how it's possible, but it's even prettier without its cover. I mean, just look at all of that red. It's so beautiful. So far, I'm on page 199, and I just love it. I love the first one, and I love this one too, and it's so good. This whole booktube channel is just gonna be me screaming at the camera about how good every book I read is, because I tend to read something and I'm like, oh my god, I love it so much, and then I read the next thing and I'm like, oh my god, I love it so much. So if you like watching people scream about how much they like books at a camera, I'm the girl for you. Hello, so today is Friday, June 15th, so I guess I'll update you guys on how my reading has gone so far since yesterday. Okay, so on Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo, I'm on page 412, so I'm probably gonna finish this book by the end of the day, and I just love it so much. All of my little precious baby characters, like there's just so much action, there's a lot of like political intrigue going on. All the characters, I just love them all so much. They're just a really like dynamic and diverse group, and it's just so much fun to read about. I was so wrapped up in reading Crooked Kingdom yesterday, I did not read any more of City of Bones. So I think today, after I finish Crooked Kingdom, I'm gonna focus on reading more of this so that I can stay on track with my buddy read with my best friend Melissa. And finally, I had to go to the mall to get my phone fixed because it just decided to like die on me. But while I was there was a Barnes & Noble across the street, so I have no self-control. So I went to Barnes & Noble. And sometimes I go and I just walk around and I'm like, oh, I shouldn't buy anything. I just want to look at the books. But no, today I was weak and I bought Carry On by Rainbow Rowell, and I love this cover because these characters are so cute. And this is just a book I've been hearing a lot about, especially with the sequel coming out in 2020, and I totally just realized that this one is Carry On, and the next one is Wayward Son, which is like that song by Boston, so maybe that plays into the story, I don't know, but it's a great song. And yeah, I've just been seeing a lot about this, so I'm just so excited to read this. Initially, I was gonna start my Ember and the Ashes reread after I finished Crooked Kingdom, but I think I'm gonna read Carry On just because I just got it and I really wanted it. And I want something a little bit more like fluffy and fun to break up all of these like heavy fantasies that I've been reading, because don't get me wrong, that's what I love, but sometimes you just want something a little light and fluffy, especially now that it's summer. So that's my update. This is totally not related to reading, but I got a package from ColourPop. So I got some new lipsticks. So I figured I'll just try them on for you because I love to talk about makeup. I got 3 colors, all of them the Ultra Matte lip. You can see. This first color is Extra Toppings. So, if you can. Okay, wow, this color is so fun. It's like an orangey red almost. I don't know. I'm really bad at describing lipstick colors, but I don't have many colors like this. Is that how you model lipstick colors? I don't know. Oh, it's so bright and fun, and this is definitely not like any other colors that I have. So that's exciting. The next color I got is Sizzle, which is again Ultra Matte. I really like ColourPop's Ultra Matte formula, so let me go put this one on. Okay, so this is what the Sizzle looks like on. So yeah, this one is still like pretty reddy, but I guess it's like a little bit more rosy, warm colored. So I like it. I'll definitely be wearing this one a lot in the future. And the last one that I got is Times Square, which is a nude. And again, it's the Ultra Matte. And I actually own this one and in the past, and it fell out of my purse. And I've been so sad because it's one of my absolute favorites. I love this color so much, so I'm so excited to put this one on so I can remember what it looks like and how good it looked. Okay, so this is what Times Square looks like on. It's a nude, so it's not as bold as the other ones, but when it dries, it almost dries like a little bit purpley. I just put it on, so it's like fresh right now, but as the day goes on and it dries, I find that it turns like a darker nude, almost purpley shade, and it's probably my favorite nude that I've ever tried, so I'm so excited that I got around to ordering another one because I was so sad when I lost it. So that's it for this little mini lipstick haul. Hope you liked it. Okay, hi everyone. Today's Sunday, so this is going to be my wrap up for the week, just to end this little weekly reading vlog. So this week I finished Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo and the sequel Crooked Kingdom, also by Leigh Bardugo, and this duology made me feel things. The world is just crazy. The characters all have such intricate and emotional story arcs. I thought the character development was really good, and I thought that there was great representation and diversity, and just the way that it played into all the characters' stories. And now my heart is broken that it's over, but we do have King of Scars coming out in January, and Nina, who was my favorite character, I think, of the Six of Crows duology, has perspective in that story, so we get to hear more from her, and I'm super excited to see what's going to happen. And also we get perspectives from Nikolai and Zoya, who were 2 of my favorite characters in the Shadow and Bone trilogy, so I'm really excited to read that. I made a lot of progress in my City of Bones reread, so right now I'm on page 343, so about 70% of the way through. I will say, first of all, this edition is gorgeous. I'm so happy that I decided to pick it up. I am really enjoying this, reading it again as a 20-something-year-old, and I think it's just as much fun as I was when I was 16, although there are some things that stick out to me that now that I'm a more mature reader, and I guess over time I've learned to take a more critical eye towards literature, even though I still feel like every time I read a book I'm like, oh my god, this is the best book ever, and I'm bad at giving bad reviews. But I will talk about this more when I'm done with this book, and probably in my June wrap-up I'll give my full thoughts as to what I thought. But so far it's really fun, so I hopefully will finish this at some point this week, and Melissa and I will move on to the next one in the series. So as for my reading plans for this upcoming week, I'm going to start Carry On Today by Rainbow Rowell, and I'm so excited to read this, and it's Pride Month, so I really wanted to read some LGBT plus literature after watching Common Spence's Pride Month tag, which I will link down below. So yeah, so I feel like I haven't read as much LGBT literature as I maybe should have, so I am really excited to pick up some more books with better representation. Although I will say, I think that in today's fantasy, like YA adult fantasy, there's a lot more LGBT representation, which I think it's cool that it's just being built into these fantasy worlds, because when you are building a new fantasy world, who's to say that the same stereotypes and kind of homophobia, those types of things have to be built into that world as well. You can make your own rules. And I find that in a lot of fantasy novels that are coming out nowadays, there's just more characters that are either just like bisexual or gay, and there's no stigma against them, and I think that's really great. So after I finish Carry On, I'm going to read In Ember in the Ashes by Saba Tahir, and I'm so excited for this reread because Rebirth the Gates just came out and I really want to read it. I'm ready to read this. The last book is I'm going to start The Language of Thorn by Leigh Bardugo, and this is 6 short stories set in the Grishaverse. So usually with novellas and things that are short stories, I like to read like 1 story a night or something. So I'll read this over the course of the week, and this book is just so pretty and so beautiful, and Leigh Bardugo writes just lyrically and beautifully, so I can't wait to read this. Alright, so that's it for this weekly reading vlog. I'll see you in the next one. Have some fun, read some books, and have a good week. Bye bye!